Okay, so we're going to create a T array of types F, content, browser, menu, extender, and I'm going to say for selected assets. Must be a zillion menus inside. Unreal. I guess we're doing some sort of reference there. We're going to call it CB for content browser, menu, asset, extender, delegates. Okay, and that's going to be equal to our content browser module dot get all asset context menu. Make sure I get the right one here. Get all asset. I'll do it again. Get all asset context menu extenders. Oops. And what did I spell wrong? Oh, that's spelled right. Get all asset context. Oh, get all assets. See, there's a get all asset view context menu extenders. I tell you. Okay. And so from there, that's where we want to create, we want to add one to that list so that we're part of the team. So CB menu asset extender delegates dot add. And what do we want to add? Well, we want to add an F content browser menu extender selected assets. And we're going to say create static and in here it's on extend content browser asset selection menu. Which doesn't exist yet because that's the other thing that we need to make down here. So let's just put a placeholder in for it. So it's going to be a static T shared reference of type F extender. And that is on, well, it's going to be this. I'm going to just copy and paste the same thing here because they're same things. And it's going to take a constant T array of type F asset data, selected assets. So it's going to populate selected assets for us. And it's going to do stuff in there. And it will ultimately return, well, it'll return something. I'll get to that in a second. But that cleared up this menu selection here. So just finishing off with this add function here. Then we're going to do, we want to get the handle of the menu extender that we just added so that we can get rid of it later. So we're going to do content browser extender delegate handle. And that is going to be equal to our content browser menu asset extender delegates dot last dot get handle. Okay. And you'll say, hey, this wasn't defined, because we need to do that just up here. We're going to create an F delegate handle of content browser extender delegate handle. That's what we're going to call it, and that makes that all happy. Excuse me. And so there you go. So that's the add. And now for the remove, it's kind of the same. So I think this first line is the same because we want to get that repopulated. F content browser module, doohickey thing, content browser module, F module manager, load module checked, F content browser module, text content browser, good. And then we need to get the array of all of the delegates. So I'm going to copy this, but we're going to make one little change to it for some reason. And yes, I'm following along from another person's efforts where they put this all together on a GitHub site. So we'll show that in a moment here. Because if I showed it to you already, you'd be there and you'd copy and paste it, and wouldn't be listening to me. But she had placed it into the Lyra project, and that created um, a lot of extra stuff that doesn't need to necessarily be there. Context menu, extender, delegates. I don't know why they changed the name of it here. It doesn't really need to be any different because it's a local variable. Everything else is the same. And then we're going to do the context browser menu extender delegates dot, and we're going to just remove them all. And it's apparently a lambda. And so it needs, I think that's right. So it needs this, and it needs the constant F content browser menu extender selected assets. And I'll call that the delegate. And then we can return delegate dot get handle and content browser extender delegate handle. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So that removes it. I guess this remove all. Yeah, it's a lambda there. There it goes. Yeah, so it's a remove all. It's a lambda, so that's defines its function, I guess, in line kind of thing. So that works that. This selection menu, so this is where we're going to define our selection menu. And so let's fill it out. So it's a T shared reference of F extender. And we're going to call it the extender. And that is equal to make shared F extender. And then our extender, I'm going to spell it properly. We want to add, not menu bar extension, but add menu extension. Add menu extension. And the first thing it wants is a hook name. So I'll show you this in how to figure this out when we get there. Kind of a neat function that the editor, the Unreal editor has for you. This is basically the name of the separator in the context menu, and that's the hook. And then we want to go after that. You can put it wherever you want after you find out how it works. And we're going to say after. And then it wants a command list. I guess maybe you can do a sub menu off this. Maybe that's what this thing is. But we're just going to do a null pointer because we just want the one line. And here we're going to do our F menu extension delegate. So we're going to define it and we're going to create it, I should say, create static. And this is where we're going to do our reference to our function, and which we haven't defined yet. Execute, save thumbnail as texture of the selected assets. Okay. Once you've done all that, return the extender. Return extender. Okay. Sorry for that. And so here is, so we don't have this obviously, and we're not going to make shred. We're going to make shared. Okay. And this is what we got to define. And copy that. We're going to bring that down here, and we're going to make a static void and call it this. And it's going to take a menu builder. Again, I'm not confident of, I don't know all of the intricacies of why. And menu builder, we'll call it, because everybody else has called it that. And it needs a constant T array F asset data of our selected assets. Okay, so that's our function that's our menu extender is going to call. Do, 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 do. So this is where we're going to build the menu. So we're going to start with our menu builder. And we're going to begin a section. And we're going to call it we're going to begin a section. Your asset context. I don't really understand what this is, but this is our asset context menu, I think is what we're building. And this is where we needed that, or it just really needs an F name here of a few things, but um, the examples have shown the localization uh, setup of it, and I think it's a good idea to keep that, but I'm not very versed in creating it. So that's what that starts with. And then we're going to just put a set of curly brackets here just so that we indent to make our section. So here we're going to do menu builder, and we're going to add our menu entry. Finally getting there, eh? And we need to put in here some good stuff. I think I need to put a semicolon at the end of that ultimately. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in there right now. And also I'm going to add right now at the end of this little section, because this is a pretty long section, so I don't want to lose it. So while it's still here, I'm going to do menu builder dot end section. Okay, so we're going to work in between those two, and they're going to slowly push their way apart. Okay, so add menu entry. It wants a lot of things. So we're going to do that location text, localization text thing again. I got something in my eye. And we're going to use button. We're going to use button name, which must be defined somewhere. And we're going to say this is actual our actual name of our menu item that's going to be. So I'm going to say export to texture. Okay. The next we can do is a tooltip. And so this will be button tooltip. And we can type will export assets thumbnail and save in, and this is something that I've hard coded this. Maybe we can change it later, but I'm going to hard code it into content. In other words, your game folder game content, thumbnail textures in slash folder. So when we do these, this folder in our content directory is going to be created. And you know what? If you've been following my other series or the full series, we created an asset um, folder off the top. Well, it's called assets. And I think I would like it to be in there. I don't want it to just be hanging out in the middle of everything else. So that's where we're going to put it. And then what does it want next here? Next, it wants a constant f name, extension hook name, none. I don't know. F slate icon. I don't know. That's what's in the that's what's in the folder, but it's an empty icon. Okay, let's pretend that's a thing. And then the see nothing. Oh, because there's multiple doohickeys here. Okay. Here, this is the one that we're following. So our text label tooltip, our slate icon, our UI action. So we're going to do an F UI action because it wants one. And it's going to be F execute oh, execute action. And we are going to create a lambda. And lambdas like curly brackets, and then they like square brackets. And inside the square brackets, we've got our selected assets. So that it carries that in. And then we're going to round brackets of the things. And then we've got our function definition inside our curly brackets. So what's it going to do in here? Well, it does a whole bunch of stuff here. We're still defining our menu entry. I guess we're stuffing the function in the memory in the menu item, right? So we're going to loop through all of our selected assets. So we're going to look at our we're going to call one asset of our selected asset. Right? Because our selected assets are of type f asset data, and we're going to look at each one by reference. We are going to do a bunch of string manipulation to pull out the name of the asset and the path of the whole system so that when we package up the texture, we can create a path and write it into the right spot on your hard drive and in the project at the same time. So this is a bit of a haul here. So we set up an integer to keep track of where we are in the looking for the separators in the path. And then we're going to create a temporary one here because we're going to be messing with things. And we got, so that was f asset data as obj equals asset. And then we're going to do an f string or gain path. And that's going to equal our obj get asset and get path name. Okay. And then we can get the asset name. Well, we'll make a string for our asset name. And then we're going to make another int for the path end position. And then and now we're going to check. We're going to say if our game path find the last character that is slash and fill my and return my my integer position of that or something like that. What does it say? Find last character. Index out the position the character was found at. Index none if return is false. So we're going to either get the integer value or we're going to get none. So or false. So we'll jump into here hopefully, and then we're going to move one spot over, and we're going to do our asset name. We're gonna increment our asset name, which hasn't been set yet, to our game path, so we can hold a copy of it. And then our asset name is going to be, we're going to right chop inline at the path end. So it's should have moved over enough to get that. And now we need to trim off the extension. So another int 32 for the extension index. And similarly, so we're going to do if asset name dot find character, the dot, comma, extension index. So it's going to fill us up where that is. And then our asset name, we're going to do a left inline to the extension. Yeah. So everything left of the dot we're going to keep. So it's a trim. And then we got our game path left inline path end. So now we're adjusting kind of our original one. So we're getting just the path that will include the last slash, I think. And then we want to, we're going to save ourselves a step in the future. We're going to add a suffix. We're going to create a suffix here. And we want our textures to start with the T. So if you wanted to make that different in your case, this is where you can change it. And we're going to do an F string name with suffix. Now it's going to be our suffix plus our asset name. So now we've built that. And now we can set, and now we're going to just update our asset name equal to our name with suffix. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Now, if we don't end up getting in there, we are going to set the asset name equal to T underscore thumbnail. And I don't think you'll ever get in here with the exceptions that, and this I think just more or less stops the crash. Um, because sometimes if you're not fully selected something, or maybe something's in a protected directory, like in the engine folder, because I've noticed that that becomes a difficult spot to make icons out of. So you need to copy your asset out into your project area, into your game folder, because maybe that's where we're looking for stuff. But yeah, so we're doing that. Now what? Um, Now we're just doing, I guess, a check to make sure that we have no slashes in our actual asset name, because that would make our whole game path bugger up. So we're gonna just check for the slash, and we'll just put the index, but we're not going to do anything with it anyways. It's just a check. And if if asset uh, name contains a slash, then we do nothing. So we're going to just return from here. Okay, we're getting there. Getting there. Only another 40 lines or so to go. So from here, we now do a we're going to use some thumbnail tools apparently. So there's an F object thumbnail pointer called, we're going to make it called thumb. And that's going to be using the thumbnail tools. And we don't have those. Obviously we don't have we have a missing doohickey. So we're going to shoot up to the top and let's just see. No, it doesn't, didn't give me any brilliance there. So we're just going to include, I think it's the object tools dot h. Yeah. So now we can work with some fire here, I think. Yep. And what do we want to do with our tools here? We want to, obviously, we want to generate a thumbnail for our object to save to disk. And the object we want to do is our object. And we want to get the asset for that. Awesome. And then we'll check to make sure that that was successful. So if it's not a thing, then we're going to return. So we'll just jump out at that point. Now we need to create a package to actually do this. So we want to create, I'm going to create an F string. I'm going to call it the package name. And that'll be a text. And it will be /game slash, and we put it in assets slash thumbnail textures slash. And then we can do some, just a check to make sure, I guess. This is making sure that it ends with a slash. I guess it's a lot of preventative code. Add the slash to the end of that path of the package name so far. And then at the end, after we got a good path towards things, now we want to do our add our asset name to it. So our package name, we're going to add our asset name to that. So now we are going to create the package for saving. So it's a U package pointer to the package of package equals a create package and a dereferenced package name. And then we're going to package. Say words so many times they don't look right when you type them anymore. And we're going to fully load that, what does that do? Fully loads this package, safe to call multiple times and won't clobber already loaded assets. Well, that's nice. Now we actually want to do the business of taking the thumbnail and changing it into a texture. So we need to start with a texture. So a U texture 2D pointer. We'll call it the new texture. And that's going to equal a new object of type U texture 2D. And it's going to be a package. And dereferenced asset name. And then there's these flags, which one is RF public. And then it uses the pipe character here. RF standalone. And RF mark as root set. Not sure what any of that does. Obviously, it sets some properties to make it accessible, I guess. New texture. We're going to add to root. I am root. Okay. I guess there's a platform-specific data that we need to create that we need to set for the new texture. So F texture platform data pointer platform data. And that equals a new F texture platform data. And we want to set the sizes. So platform data size X is equal to our thumb image. And we want to get image width. And then we want to do our platform data size Y. Size Y. That will get our image height. And then we need to set a pixel format. So platform data pixel format. Oh, no. Platform. No. Pixel format. Yeah. Okay. Equals. It's an enum. Pixel format. Doink, doink. And it's going to be the PFB, PF underscore B8G8 R8A8. So 8-bit RGB. I imagine if you change this, you're going to need to change some other stuff coming up. But so that's why we're just going to keep it this way. They're icons after all. New texture. And let's now set the platform data to our platform data struct that we created here. Okay, so we've got our new texture kind of ready for things. It just doesn't know what to put in there. So that's what we do here. So we create a bitmap. And now we're really getting out of anything I know about. So we're going to blindly follow here a bit, but 2D MIP map pointer, we'll call it MIP, equals a new F texture 2D MIP map. And our platform data MIPS add. We're going to add our MIP. Funny. And our MIP size. This is where I get really lost. Well, because this seems repetitive and unnecessary here, but get image width. I don't know if this is a result of users building things that that they're not entirely sure of, so it just gets progressively extended to others, like I'm doing right now. At least I'm pulling it out of Lyra, which I guess wasn't that hard, but it was hard enough that it was confusing. And now we're going to do some sort of bulk data operation here. Lock. I'm going to lock it or read write. Nobody mess with this. We're busy on it. And what are we going to do? So this is where we kind of go through bit by bit of the thumbnail and create the texture. So int 8 pointer texture data equals uint 8 pointer mip bulk data dot reallocate your thumb get uncompressed image data dot num times 4, because the 4 different color states: red, blue, green, and red, green, blue, and alpha, yeah. F memory mem copy texture data thumb get uncompressed image data dot get data thumb get uncompressed image data dot num. Sure, perfect sense. MIP bulk data unlock. Okay, we're done with it, boys. Almost done. So now we get our new texture. And source dot initialize dot init thumb get image width comma thumb get image height, and the number of slices I'm going to set as 1. Number of new num mips is 1. If I knew what those were, I might comment on it. If it initialize the source data with the given size, number of mips, and format. Okay. The number of MIPS in the texture source data, the number of slices in the texture source data. Yeah, don't know what those are. I don't know what slices mean. I kind of understand what the MIPS is, but don't quiz me on it, that's for sure. So E texture source format. And we're going to do TSF BGRA8. BGRA8. And a little more to go here. And we're going to use our thumb. And get uncompressed image data dot get data semicolon. That was a long line. Yeah. We could break that into some individual lines here. Maybe that might overall be better. So new texture. So now we want to set the LOD group because we not we want to set it to a UI type. Because it's an icon. So we can set the LOD group. Texture group UI. And this is one that I added to make the texture compression settings to be for the UI. And it's a texture compression settings enum settings. And we want texture compression editor icon, which basically doesn't compress it. So, this is where you could come in and change this if you wanted to save some more file space or whatever, and have crappier looking icons. That's the only thing I can think of. But anyways, who knows? New texture. I'm not a authority on the situation, anyways. And update resource. Okay, so we've made the texture. It's sitting in memory. Now we want to get it to save. So we're gonna mark it dirty. Yeah, mark it dirty. Make all the jokes you want. Package. Fully load it. Whatever that's gonna do. I guess it's gonna reload it. I don't know. And then F asset registry module. And see, we don't have that one. So that's another include that we need to keep. This is good because I had a whole bunch of includes in here as I was trying to debug things, and now I can maybe get rid of them. So which one was that we were looking for? The asset registry module. So that one is an include in the asset registry asset registry module.h. Yeah, this one. Okay, should clarify that one. And we basically want to just say asset created, new texture. Now we need to save it. So F save package args. Save args. Spell that right? Incomplete type. I don't think we have save args. Okay, so if we go up here, so here we want to add, we need to include, and it's our U object, save package.h. And I'm thinking, there it goes. And let's see, so we're going to save args, top level flags equals E object flags RF public type E object flags RF standalone. Okay. Save args, and save flags. We're going to say save no error. In other words, I don't think it's going to pop up with any error warnings. It's just going to be silent. Save args be force byte swapping. And we're going to set that to true. I guess that probably allows it to, I don't know what it does. Probably allows it to switch stuff around. Obviously, byte swapping. Package file name equals F. Package name long package name to file name. And we're going to give it our package name. F package name. Get asset passage. Get asset package extension. Then we'll do a U package. U package. U package. Save package. I want to save the package. New texture. And dereference the package file name. And use our save args. Okay. I think we're done with our lambda that we created. And then we're going to jump out of all of that. And then it wanted that. And then user interface action type button. Oh, that action button. Let's get rid of those. And I'm gonna pull that up from there. So that was the last parts of our menu entry was the action type. Seems that these were flipped around. No, extension of none. Interaction type button. And then this last one we didn't include because it's got a default here and it's at the end, so we didn't need to include it. And then we're going to end our section. And now the most important line, because otherwise nothing happens. Outside of all of this, I should have added this at the beginning and let it push itself down. We need to implement module. And this is of the type that we started with up here, right, of this class. So that's this module. I'm going to copy there. And I'm putting it in here. And then the module name is our folder name that we created. So that's our HFX editor. So that's that. So save all that. And I guess we should try build. And I think we included stuff there. we included there. And we got ourselves here. So let's build it and see what it comes up with. Well, we failed some includes here, so I got to do some maintenance here. I'll be right back, and we'll clear these up.